Okie dokie. Today I'm going to show you guys how to paint the trim, the baseboards, the ceiling trim, the doors, and everything with this right here. Not everything, but pretty much everything with this right here. This is the True Coat 360 DS, and it's a great coat. Let's do this thing. And there it is. I'm gonna be spraying the baseboards, okay? All the baseboards. I'm gonna be spraying around the window trims right here. I'm gonna be doing the popcorn ceiling and the trim on the ceilings, not the cabinets today. I'm gonna be spraying this right here, all the way around. Over here, I'm gonna be spraying this door, this door, this door, and this door, and then all the trim, of course. And I'm gonna show you guys, I'm a landlord, but I buy houses and flip them before I get tenants in there. And I'm gonna show you guys an easy way to do all this. That way you're not hand scrubbing all this stuff, you know, brushing by hand and blah, 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 blah. The doors take forever to roll and hand brush, okay? We've got a lot of doors to do, a lot of trim to do, and while this carpet is trash, I'm gonna show you guys how I go ahead and do this. It is the next day of painting, and I'm gonna show you guys. I have the gun ready right here. I'm about to get going again here on the ceiling, but before I do the ceiling here, I'm gonna show you guys what the walls look like. So let's take a quick look at that. I haven't rolled this because remember I ran out of paint late last night right here. Well, I started spraying, using the spray gun again, throughout some spots that I missed, that I couldn't see very well last night. And I've touched up a few spots with the gun. Now I'm gonna go over the ceiling, but in here I wanted to show you guys, this is all wet. I just did this ceiling just now, and I smoothed out the ceiling just like the walls. I smoothed out the trim. You can see how this is turning out, okay? And it'll really look good once I add the gray in, where the gray is gonna go right here in those places like that. But here's what it's looking like. I forgot to skim coat this door, so I'll have to do that once we're all done here, but that's okay, no big deal. We're gonna get everything, the majority of everything done, and then come back for the small little details. Anything that doesn't look good, we'll come back and decide, hey, do we do that or do we not? Here is what it looks like. That's smoke damage, by the way. So somebody attempted to paint over and with some primer or something to cover up that smoke damage, but they did not do too well. I'm gonna set you guys down right here, and let's go ahead and start this ceiling. Now you can see I have finished the gray except for trimming the edges, okay? So we'll get to that here in a bit, but I've painted everything gray, everything white, so now my trim is white, my walls are gray, and I just have to trim the edges and do little touch-up things. I've painted the ceiling, and I've cleaned all my tools and everything. Now, what I'm gonna do now is show you guys what I'm doing. So I'm taking the sander, and I've sanded everything. I've sanded every little crevice and nook, just, you know, as good as I can. I've sanded everything. The only one that's gonna need some special attention is this one. So, well, all of these are gonna need a little bit of a special attention, but we're gonna go ahead and paint it and get everything the best we can, and then like everything, we'll go and have a touch-up day. What I'm gonna do now is I've sanded everything. I'm gonna paint the cabinets now. I've picked out a color, and you'll see it's gonna be orange. It's a 1940 house. So I'm going with orange, and maybe go orange in the bathroom and in the kitchen. But anyway, that's what I'm gonna be doing. So I'm gonna start painting that right now. It is the next day, and today I'm gonna show you guys how to cut these edges. So I'm gonna show you guys how I do this. I'm gonna video a little bit of how we're doing this, but we're gonna cut the edges at the top, up here, above the window right here and around the windows. And then we're gonna do the baseboards at the bottom, and we're gonna cut in all the edges, and I'm gonna show you what tool I use to do that. Let me zoom out and do a quick walkthrough. We'll cut in the edges on the corners, okay? And here's the kitchen. You can see the ceiling is looking great. We're also gonna be doing caulking today. We'll be doing caulking, and I'll video up close of all the things that I'm gonna do. Not all the things, but there's gonna be caulking up here. There's a hole down here that I can see, okay? Also, another thing is I've taken a brush and I've brushed off all the baseboards, but you might need to put caulking here. In my case, there's a hole there. we'll have to put caulking. There's a little crack right here that I'll put some caulking in. There is that up there. And anything we can find to put caulking in, we want to seal every hole and every crack and every crevice that we can, everything. From here all the way up and around, we want everything sealed. We'll be running caulking up here, and I'm gonna show you guys two examples, one of the caulking and one of me doing the other stuff, the cutting around the edges. But here's the doors one last time before we paint them. The video quality changes whenever I zoom out, but so there's the doors. It's a little bit light right here, so I'll probably end up, but those other doors look great, okay? This door, I wanna show you guys once I'm done eventually. I'll be mudding over just this door because there's water damage over that lead-based paint. So I'll have to do a downwards, a vertical, okay, motion of skim coating. Go check out my last video. But I'll have to skim coat this door, but all the other doors look great, okay? It's just gonna be this one door right here. So we'll skim coat that. Another thing I wanna show you guys, and I forgot to paint this wall last night, but another thing I wanna show you, and it's gonna look so much better once I get just those things done. Look at this cabinet right here. It's also got water damage. In comparison to the other ones, they look awesome, and then this one, it looks a little bit rough. So I might end up skim coating, probably will end up skim coating that door in there and this one. But let's get the whole thing done. Let's get it ready where somebody could live inside it. And then we'll come back and we'll detail it all. But here's the difference between detailing and non-detailing. Look at this end cabinet, which I skim coated. I skim coated over this wood, primer first, and then skim coated it. And it looks great, okay? And look at this one. This one is that lead-based paint. I did not skim coat it, I just painted it. You can see I just painted it with that white paint, and it went from looking like this to looking like this. That's great and all. But if you skim coat that, you get rid of all of those blemishes, which is what we're gonna do right here. See the difference? Okay, we're gonna get rid of those blemishes. I'm gonna get rid of these blemishes, and we're gonna make all of it look like this. And you know, once I zoom out like this, it all looks the same, but you can clearly see, look. We want all of them look like this except for this one door. So I'll fix this one door, and we'll go through and fix the hardware and do there's some hardware things that I gotta do on all this, but I'll fix that one door. I'll paint this wall. We'll do the caulking. We'll do all that stuff. We'll cut the edges, and I'll skim coat this door, and then we'll repaint everything, and that'll be that. And I'll bring you guys around with me. Hello. I just saw another thing I want to show you guys. We're gonna be looking for stuff like this also, okay? We need to fix places like this with caulking. So I'll just run caulking over the top of this, just like that. And you'll see all this stuff will go away. And then we'll paint gray, white. We'll use the same tool to cut the edges, and all this stuff like this will go away. And you'll just be amazed at what that'll do, especially once we get all new electrical and all this stuff is gonna make a huge difference if you do it all the right way, like in order like we're doing. Get it all done from the bottom up, and everything will look super fresh, super clean. You don't wanna do a super good job and then leave an old fan or leave the old carpet or leave this floor and try to clean it. You wanna do it all nice, or basically just go through it and rip around and just get somebody living in there, rent it out for $400 a month. I'm gonna do everything best I can, and I'm gonna rent it for as much as I can, all right? The more you do, the more it's worth. Whenever I bought this house, it was worth $55,000. Once I'm done with it, it's maybe worth 100, 120. Hello. I have worked 18 hours a day for 6 days, and it is the 7th day in the morning, and I am not working today, actually. I'm getting my daughter, and she is on spring break, so we're gonna be up here every day probably, but just doing little things here and there, coming back and forth, blah, blah, blah. Maybe not even do a whole lot this week, but I'll have her all week for spring break, so we're gonna be playing a lot and maybe just a little tiny bit here, but I won't be making any videos, so I've pre-videoed a few little projects that I'm gonna be doing. And then we'll pick back up on this the next 7 days. Week 2 will actually be week 3, but you know, whatever. That's just how it is, because I'm going to spend time with her. So, and she's on spring break. But anyway, I cut in all the edges. You can see I've cut in all the edges. I've got mini blinds. I've cut the ceiling edges, the gray around the windows. I've painted the windows white. The baseboards, I forgot to do the bottom baseboards. But I did everything else but the bottom baseboards. I did some of them. I did this one, and I did around these, okay? I did around the doors. Remember those side pieces right here and over there? I did all the doors, white and gray, okay, on all the doors. This piece over here, this is all getting ripped out, so don't worry about that. This wall, I only went over one coat on the skim coating. I only went up and down, so I probably should have went 3 coats on this wall, but since I had everything sitting here and I got in the zone, I forgot about this wall, and so I went ahead and painted it. But you guys, I want you guys to see, okay, this was, I'm just pointing this out, this is my mistake. I forgot to do this wall 3 times. I only skim coated it once, and it looks a lot better than it did, but I only skim coated this wall once, and I'm probably gonna end up maybe doing it, but I probably won't. I'm just being honest, because it looks okay. All right, no one's gonna be, when they walk in the front door, it looks good, okay? It actually looks really good. And if I didn't point it out, you wouldn't have even noticed, okay? But you can see the difference in quality. Look how flawless this is. Amazing when you go over, I'm telling you guys, go over it 3 times. I don't care your skill level. Go watch my skim or scam video on Cottage, my episode right there. Go to my episodes. But anyway, look at the quality of this, okay? This is what everything looks like, but I forgot this wall, and look at it. I only went over it once. And if I get even closer, it's even worse, all right? So I might end up going over this, the additional 2 more coats to make it flawless, basically flawless, okay? But I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm gonna keep going with this renovation, and I'll even go ahead and get all my flooring done and everything. I'll finish cutting all this next, which is week 3, because I'm spring break and all that. But when I come back, I'll finish cutting in those edges down there at the bottom. But this concludes, and we'll do more videos on the electrical. All the electrical is gonna get updated and blah, 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 blah. So follow me on and through my episodes. I wanna show you guys these bamboos. These are only $21 opposed to $35 for the mini blinds that are this long. These are all very long. And since these windows are so short, it doesn't really, I can't justify spending the money. So I spent $20 for these, 2, 4, 6, and then 8, so $80. And all I did was get them, and I looped them up. So I double looped them on a couple of screws. Okay, that's all I did. And you can see out during the day, but they can't see in, so it's perfect, okay? You can see out, but they can't see in, and it provides a lot of shade, okay? It's a lot of shade. It's not as bright in here. People, you can't see when they're driving by. My neighbors are just right over there, and they could see. Now, this provides a lot of, this is a good idea for you if you want to save some money, okay? But if you want mini blinds, go ahead and get the mini blinds. They may look better for your look that you're going for, but these is what I'm doing. And they also, since I looped them up, because they're short windows, I looped them up, and they have a little catcher right here. At nighttime, if you wanted to put a piece of cardboard or a piece of paper or something in there for full blackouts, if you were a night worker or anything like that, this is a great option because they're cheaper, and you can put your sliders in there, and you don't have to get curtain rods and do all the crazy stuff. I literally got 1 screw, 2 screws, folded the bamboo over, and then you can put a slider in there, okay? Something lightweight, okay? You wanna just put something lightweight in there, like paper or cardboard or something like that. But anyway, here is what we got. I'm gonna stand back here so you can see the living room. That's the living room, okay? And now I'm in the hallway. I'm gonna show you guys the hallway. This is looking like, okay? And I haven't done this back room yet, but here is what we got. I've cut all the edges pretty well. Now I'll take you back in this other corner, okay? And remember, there's a couple of things I didn't get because I just ran out of time. Last night, I worked until 3:45 in the morning. I actually went to sleep at 5:30. But here's what it's all looking like. Remember, we painted the ceiling with the sprayer. We painted the baseboards with the sprayer and everything, the doors and everything with the sprayer. And then I came in and rolled the primer on the walls because I like the rolling with the primer. It gives a much better look. It makes it all smooth and even and dries fast. And then you can come in and put this, and I roll this on and then cut the edges, okay? Cut around. And then you're gonna have to go touch up some stuff here and there, which is what I'm gonna do. And it looks so much better when you have everything completely done. I'm just out of time. Remember, this is gonna be ripped out, and look how good all this looks. Okay? Ceiling, trim, cutting. Got the mini blinds, put the sliders in if you want. I did the caulking, remember? And guys, I did not skimp. I covered every crack, every crease and every crevice, every single one, all the way around, everything that I could. I fixed everything I could. I even filled up here above the windows, okay? I went above and I filled above the door here, okay? I sealed above here, guys. I sealed above everything. I sealed down the sides of the doors. I was here till 4 in the morning. All right, guys, but here's what it's looking like. It's looking wonderful. It's looking beautiful. And I want to show you guys lastly what this kitchen is looking like. Here's the kitchen area. It also is looking awesome. Okay. Here's kind of the and I'm debating on, because I ran out, this stuff's all so expensive, the backsplash stuff. I'm debating on whether I should finish this last little strip up here or just put a piece of wood, which is probably what I'm gonna do, because a piece of wood is like $1, where this stuff costs a lot more. So I may trim this out and put a little light kit set in here. I don't know what we're gonna do yet, but I'm leaving it for now. And I can always go get more of that if I want to. But anyway, I put some behind the oven as well to match, and I'm gonna leave everything else as is to kind of break the dark and light and kind of give it different, you know, different colors. So there it is. This is kind of how the kitchen is gonna look. And here is everything else. Okay, if this painting video was helpful in any way, we did caulking, painting. This is kind of the process of how I did. If this was helpful at the ceilings and how the carpet's dirty and all that. Anyway, if this episode was helpful in any way and you like this video, go ahead and like it and subscribe to the channel if you like home improvement videos. And I will see you guys next time.